There will always be the good and the bad, the strong and the weak. What we should have, though, is the strong men dominating. The strong men are a minority, but that's fine. Minorities can dominate. We just have to dominate and establish cultural standards such that we have higher numbers of men living in the appropriate civilized fashion that we teach. So we want cultural dominance, but we do know that in all societies, there will be those who are saintly and those who are less saintly. There's always levels to things. But right now, we're observing a world wherein the wicked are controlling and thriving. And we can see this evidenced by the ongoing endless warfare that dominates the society, and also the peculiarities, which is to say, things that make no sense. I dropped a story that I thought was quite comical, in as much as the American government and many governments around the world, they made you stay indoors. They said if you don't get a vaccine, you're going to lose your job. However, they allowed in America 17 million illegal immigrants to come in unvaccinated, no criminal records, no medical records, no nothing. Could be gang members, could be terrorists, could be anyone. So you know that something's not quite right. We're being lied to. And it's time for strong men to stand up, knowing that we are in revolutionary times, and we like to look back at the Germans and say, how could they follow that guy? And why didn't they rebel? Why aren't you rebelling? Why aren't you rebelling? We're in the same terrible situation. Why aren't you rebelling? You think the boy in Germany in the 1930s and 40s was trying to take over the world? He does not have as far a reach as America has today. You know how many military bases America has around the world? You think America's not trying to do the same thing? America's constantly in war. Come on now. We're in the same situation. You just won't acknowledge it. I was asking a young lady yesterday, I said, how bad do you think things have to get before people are going to do something? Like, how bad does the treatment have to be? 200 million a day sent to Ukraine while you have student loan debt, money sent to Israel while you can't afford health care. How bad does it have to get before Americans decide that it's not acceptable? Canada is in a horrible situation. I was recently speaking to a Canadian woman. She was telling me that in Canada, you cannot pay for private health care, private health insurance. That's why wealthy Canadians come to America. If you need something basic, an MRI, you have to wait many weeks, many months. She had an ankle injury, couldn't walk, had to wait 2 months to get it checked out. Not fixed, just checked out, properly checked out. Yes, in Canada, they have so many laws. They are under an authoritarian regime. We are not too far off. But how long will you wait before you do something? Anyways, man, I appreciate all of you who stick with this work and are part of this organization and who are true members, full-fledged. I look forward to growing something epic with you, the likes of which the world has never seen. I'm often reflecting on happiness. How do you maintain happiness? How do you grow happiness? I often observe the way we take ourselves away from happiness. There are certain common emotions that we get, but we don't think enough on it. Like, for example, anxiety. You feel anxious or maybe worried or tense. Where did the feeling come from? This morning, I was thinking on anxiety, and I was trying to remember the first time I ever felt anxious or worrisome, or like I was anticipating something too much. I remember looking at my Kyocera prepaid phone. It was blue and gray. It was on grayscale. I don't even think it was color. I remember I was waiting on a text message, a response from this red bone, this super thick red bone, pretty chick. She's probably like 2 years older than me. She was in my church youth group, and I gamed her up at the church camping event. I got her number. I texted her, and this is back in the day when you had to pay per text message. There was no such thing as unlimited text. I think it was like 25 cents a message or something. Like, you get like 50 in your plan, and then you have to pay like a quarter or something per message. It was quite expensive. And I had a prepaid phone, and I got Shorty info, and I messaged her. And there's no such thing as a red receipt, right? Like, you didn't get a red receipt. You didn't know if Shorty received your message. It didn't say delivered or anything like that. You just had to wait. So I remember texting Shorty, and I really wanted to get with her. I don't even think I was trying to smash. I was like really trying to get with her off some like little kid. I don't want to say a simp. You're just a boy. As a boy, you have serious emotions. You don't have control over your emotions, and you're not focused on anything meaningful. And that was the first time I can remember experiencing anxiety or anxiousness or yearning or wanting in an unpleasant, uncomfortable way. Now, of course, she did DM me back, and we had various lengthy conversations over text message and phone. I bring up that story for two reasons. Reason number one, this is the first time I ever experienced anxiousness. And when you experience something like that, your chief goal should be to not experience these kinds of negative feelings. You have to get to the root of it. That's number one. The second thing is I learned a major lesson from Simone. I was like 14, she was like 16, very attractive girl. And everybody was trying to holler at her for sure. I thought I was special because I got her number. Getting somebody's number was a thing back in the day. Before there was cell phone penetration, you would tell Shorty to write her number down. Like, yo, like you would hand Shorty a pen and paper. Like, yo, Shorty, write your number down. That was like that old school game. It was pure. You couldn't be a hoe and be like, oh, I just find her IG. Nah, you got to game her up right now, buddy. If you don't game her up right now, it's a wrap for you. You ain't never going to see her again. She ain't got no Facebook. She ain't got no IG. Ain't none of that a factor. You got to game her right now. It's do or die. We're really in the flames. But the point is, I probably thought I was special because I had her number. We we text a lot, had some conversations. And it was also another major lesson, which is that women have an infinite amount of time. They don't need a goal. Men always have a goal. Your goal is to get the girl to be your girlfriend or to smash the girl, or you have some goal in your conversation. It's not conversation for the sake of conversation. Whereas her thing is, it's conversation for the sake of conversation. Women just need attention. They just need someone to express themselves to, someone to hear them out, someone to engage with, and anyone will do. So even if she has no intention of letting you be romantic, the sad, evil thing about a female is they will go into situations knowing your intention and have no respect for you as a human being and no respect for your intention, and then just bleed you of your time and bleed you of your energy. I'm often shocked. I can remember times I gamed up a chick, took her back to the telly. We in the room, I'm ready to wear her out. And she's, oh, well, what's going on? I just want to hang out. No, I don't know what you think this is, baby. Like, we back at the Spizzot. This is not the kick it spot. This is Pound Town. You heard me? You didn't came to Pound Town. But in their mind, even though they know that's what you're on, they're going to try to milk out of the situation the things that they want and then deny you. And then they'll have the nerve to get offended when you tell them to hit the road. You dig? And I encourage you to tell them to hit the road. It's the mentally ill guys, the weak guys who are like, you don't reward them with peace. No, I absolutely will provide them some peace. I don't know if it's a reward for me to dig out their guts like this. Maybe it is to them, maybe it isn't. I don't care, but I'm surely rewarding myself. And then I'm going to tell them to hit the road. And that's that part that makes me sure that it's not a reward. The fact is, they give the guts and they're a valueless person, they're hitting the road. They don't give the guts, they're hitting the road. It's just a matter of timing. But what you cannot do is allow these hoes to lay up. I ain't gonna let you lay up unless I'm getting paid up. You ain't gonna kick it for free. You're not gonna get my attention for free. None of this. That's what you have to understand, is that they'll infinitely waste your time.